They are part of our team.
Okay.
Because we are farmers.
You're farmers. What do you deal in?
We deal in mostly citrus.
Citrus fruits. That is oranges. Yes.
Mangoes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also deal with other crops like soya.
Mm-hmm.
We also have sorghum,
Mm-hmm.
simsim,
Mm-hmm.
and we also have beans.
Beans.
Yes.
Okay. So the agriculture credit facility is a fund that was set up in 2009, 16 years ago. That time I was also in school. I didn't know about it. It was set up to encourage commercialization of agriculture, agro-processing, number one, mechanization of agriculture. You are within Soroti's eastern area.
Yeah.
You're in Kumi, which district?
Serere.
Serere. I'm aware that in Serere you use a lot of oxen and plows to do the digging.
That is true.
It is good because now for us, where I come from, we use horse. We don't do the oxen, we use horse. So you realize you're a little bit better than us because we have some mechanization, but it's not the best. Use the tractors. That is mechanization.
Yes.
The last group I had, they were doing vegetables, horticulture.
Yes.
But you know you cannot grow vegetables without water. You need to modernize, start having irrigation systems in place, have green houses for better growth of these vegetables. Okay? At times it's very hard given the nature of our incomes as Ugandans. You need some support. You need some support from institutions that have some funds, and you have to access them cheaply. We are aware that in the villages there is a lot of circles. They are good because you are pooling funds and having them for one uniform thing. Like you've told me, it's a group now, meaning you have probably pooled some funds together and you're trying to better your livelihoods. But some of these savings groups, they give you money which is very, very expensive. You find they're giving you money at 5% per month, 10% per month. Exactly. Meaning if you borrow 1 million, you're going to pay back 120,000 per month. Sorry, 100,000 per month.
Yes, 100.
So what happens at the end of the year? 1.2 million. So you have to add the 1 million. That's 2.2 million. So meaning you've paid 120% per year, which I think is a little bit exploitive. So, but with this facility, the same 1 million, you're going to pay 120,000 shillings per year. That's 12% per year, 1% per month, 10,000 per month, 120,000 in 1 year. Meaning that the other extra 1 million you give to the savings groups, you can use it for other things. Farm improvement, farm enlargement, the diversification into other things. For example, you people who are in citrus, you need some apiaries to make sure that your fruits have better production. Okay? When you have bees to pollinate your flowers when they're still in that young stage, before they become fruits, the bees can be some little addition, good addition, not little but a good addition. Okay? So, as long as your project is within agro-processing, mechanization, modernization, large-scale production,
Yes.
you can be financed under this the fund.
Yes.
The fund. Usually, when you go to these commercial banks, they will ask for collateral, which I think is the biggest challenge we have here in Eastern region.
Yes.
But we have the block allocation arrangement.
Yes.
The block allocation arrangement is in such a way that if you're going to borrow any amount, which is between, of course, the least amount you can borrow and 20 million Ugandan shillings, the collateral requirements are revised to make sure that they are also in your favor. There is a gentleman, before you left, I think you heard him say he has gotten some interest as far as cattle fattening is concerned. So if you borrowed 5 million to do bull fattening, the collateral Doesn't have to be land. The collateral can be the very cows you're going to buy to do the bulls, the fattening on. The collateral could be a motorcycle that you have that you use to go to the farm. Yes. It could be a vehicle. Okay? Yeah, because we know the land tenure system, this side is a little bit more of communal. Yes. Okay? So we try to make sure that even the least unprivileged person who is doing farming but wants to expand, wants to do modernization, wants to have a good farm, wants to increase their output, gets this money. Yes. And at very little cost compared to what they get from the circles and the groups, the different groups which are usually within their communities. Yes. You can access this loan through any of the banks. You told me which account, which bank do you bank with?
Centenary.
Centenary Bank. You can access them through Centenary. But what I always tell farmers, don't go when you need this loan and say, I want this loan. No, plan. Don't need the money tomorrow because it's going to start raining. Oh, it rained yesterday. You're like, now I'm ready. Let me go and get the loan. No. If you know it's going to start raining in June, apply for the loan in March. Plan for it. Don't just apply for it and keep the money in your house. No, plan. Say I'm going to, I now have citrus, I have mangoes, I have oranges, soya, sorghum, but I have been doing this on 5 acres. I now need to do this on 10 acres. So meaning I need to buy a few more seedlings of the oranges, the mangoes. I need to do farm preparation. You've probably had many thieves on the farm. Now you have to fence it. Plan to make sure that when you get this money, you use it for the intended purpose. Otherwise, when you get the loan and you don't have anything to use it for, you'll waste it. And you'll have to pay back the money because it's not your money. It's borrower's money. It's, saver's money. The people who save the money, depositors' money. Yes. The people who save in those banks, and of course, with some contribution from the government of Uganda. Okay? So, plan adequately and have a good cash flow. Right now, of course, you're getting some income from this. Yes. You're not making losses, are you? No. Save some of the profits with the banks. So that when you're going there, you tell them, you see, I have done this for the last 5 years, 13 years, 3 years, a period where you've done the things for. Yes. And I have been, this is what I've been spending every season. I spend 3 million on this. I spend on labor. I spend on pesticides. I spend on, inputs, fertilizers. And at the end of the period, this is my profit. And it's on, I save it on your account. So right now, what I want to do is I want to expand. I've been doing this on 5 acres, but it's not enough. I want to expand and do it on 10 acres, 15 acres. Depending on your proposal, what you're getting from the farm, they can even advise, say, you now you want 5 million, but we can give you 8 million. We can give you 12 million and you do this. That will be upon your discussion with these PFIs. Of course, they will try to say, we have this other product. It's because now they already know you can pay back this loan. They will try to sell you their expensive products because they're in business. Their business is getting money from you, getting some interest to be able to pay their workers, to pay their rent somewhere. They're commercial banks. They are not charity. Okay? You have to stick your stand and say, no. I want the agricultural facility loan that is supported by the Bank of Uganda and the government of Uganda. Yes. Yeah. You have to stand your ground. Yeah. Of course, you will find a challenge when you don't have records. That's why I'm telling you, keep records. Keep records. The ground will be very smooth for you. And plan ahead. Don't need a loan tomorrow because you will be disappointed. The moment they ask for your ID, please take your ID there. If you ask for your wife, in case you want to put your land there, take your wife. Because in case of any eventuality and probably one of you passes on, your wife should be able to know that my husband had a loan from Centenary Bank and we have to finance it, otherwise they'll take our land. But if she didn't know, she'll be like, this person stealing our land, what? Yet actually you got a loan from that bank. In case they asked you, if you have a company, for example, you've told me you are a group, are you registered with the relevant authorities? Yeah. I don't know whether you have any questions.
Yes, we have. One, I don't know whether they can give one a loan up to a maximum of how many million or
The loans, the minimum period you can get this money for is 6 months, and the maximum is 8 years. But usually, it will the 8 years will be for projects that have a lot of complexities. For example, if Mukwano wanted a loan to expand his soap or oil production plant from Simsim or from Sunflower, he's going to buy the machinery from China, then have to bring it. So, it will even take him the first 2 years, he won't be getting anything from that money. He will be bringing in his machinery, doing what, okay? But if you're going to do horticulture, you're going to plant soya, you're going to plant beans, you're going to plant sorghum, within 4 months you have gotten back this money. So we can give you money like for 2 years, 3 years, yeah. 8 years are usually for those big projects that want to go up to 10 billion, 3 billion, yeah. But the money is available between 6 months and 8 years,
okay.
yeah. But in case of any challenges as far as the process is concerned, I know it has happened a lot. The banks want to sell their products, and another thing is that the commercial banks have high turnover of their employees. The loan manager you find today is not the one you'll find after 2 months, not the same one you'll find after 5 months. So they do not have a complete knowledge about all the loans they have. So you'll find that they have those common ones, the salary loans, the border loans, the logbook loans, what. So, and usually, by the time they want to convince you to take their other loans, they know you have the ability to pay back, and they want to take part of your, because this is a very, very friendly loan, I believe.
Yes.
And the more you do it, and actually when you get the loan, when these banks give you the loan, and you had requested for the loan for a period of 3 years, and you already have their money in 2 years, pay back and get another one. Don't say I still have my 1 year. No, build trust with them. They are not bad people. You are giving them money. They are giving you money back. So pay, and the better for you. This time, if they gave you 5 million with the collateral of a border, they say, but this man pays. Let's give him 20 million even with no collateral, as long as the banks can trust you.
So you can find these services in almost all the banks?
All of them, as they are listed here. Of course, there are some that don't have their loan section very much active like others, but all the commercial banks have this, including Pride Microfinance is this side, Opportunity is there, Equity, I'm aware in Soroti here they have, Centenary is there, Post Bank, I've seen it there myself, Stanbic is there, yeah, and all these banks are very high ranking as far as credit is concerned. So there are some activities, of course. Yes, they have.
Are you together, all of you?
Yes, we
In a cooperative, a circle?
are in a group.
You're in a group.
There are some things we do not finance under this fund.
Yes.
Growing of trees. So you can imagine if I gave you 20 million to grow trees, after how long will you pay me?
7 to 15 years.
15 years, other people will be lacking the chance to use this money. Because this money is supposed to leave you, to go to her, from her goes to... Exactly. So it is not supposed to help you alone. If you have an outstanding loan and you want to use this money to pay it, we shall still not give you this money. We're not saying you shouldn't have other loans. No, you can have other loans, but you shouldn't be using this money to pay another loan. Working capital for trading other than grain trade. You want this money to go and trade stationery.
Yes.
We are not going to give you this money. You want this money to go and invest in your school. We shall not give you this money. You want this money, the gentleman who was here, Alfred, said here he does metal fabrication. We shall not give you this money to go and do metal fabrication. No. That is in another product now, this SBRF. We shall not give you this money to buy land. Those are the primary inputs that you need, especially when you are in agriculture. You need to have the land. Yeah. Can give you money for farm improvement, for mechanization, modernization, agro-processing. Yeah. Maintenance, exactly.
Actually, we have been lacking information.
Yeah.
Because I read it somewhere about this service, but we didn't know that they were in almost all the banks.
No, all the banks. Okay, there are some banks that are hesitant, like, but they are not even this side. Most of them are usually in Kampala, Masakawat, like in the cities. They don't usually come to the locals, but all the banks you have in the eastern part of the country, they have these loans. They have these loans, all of them. Because what I've seen, the ones I've seen in Soroti Town, Opportunity, Post Bank, Equity, Finance Trust, Centenary, they have these. Stanbic, they have. Tropical is also there, isn't it? I've seen Tropical.
Tropical is also there.
Yes, they have this facility.
People here, actually, you people are very privileged because you have most of the banks.
Yes.
There are places you go to, and they probably have like only one bank.
No, Bushenyi has only two banks.
It's like not near, like far. Like maybe in a neighboring district, or you have to move to, they don't. Like one or two banks. So many. So you have the opportunity to move around, to shop around with which bank can actually give you this product, or can understand your business well, and is able to accommodate your requirements.
Okay. Maybe we can also take your contact.
In case I had not given you this.
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had given you. Sorry. I'll write for you the toll-free numbers just in case of any challenge.
Yes.
Because we've had a lot the. Okay. So in case of any challenges, please don't hesitate to call those numbers.
Yes.
And there is another number at the end of the here.
Yes.
You can also call it in case all these ones are not responsive. These ones will redirect you to us.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's the main bank number, but they will still redirect you to us. Yeah.
So just for instance, I want a tractor. What collateral would they need from us?
You may need land. They may need land mainly because and in case you don't have the collateral, what happens is that there is always a double financing, in that they will tell you to pay like for 40%. If the tractor costs 100 million, they'll say you bring 40 million. Okay? Then they pay the 60 million. They give you the tractor and remain with the logbook. Meaning that now that you've paid your 40 million, you're going to fight hard to make sure you pay the extra 60 million. To get the logbook. Yeah. Otherwise, if I gave you 100, if I paid the tractor and gave it to you, so what? But you've already invested some of your money. Meaning you have to fight back to make sure you don't lose your 40 million. Yeah. Otherwise, I think
land title. Sometimes you may not have a land title, but you have a chibanja, land agreement. And those ones, of course, now it depends on the size of the loan.
Yes.
Because you see, there's a risk element. Seller agreement is different from now you having a land title. So that might limit you in terms of how much you can access. But also, the bank, if they've assessed you and they see your cash flows are doing well, the business potential is there. These are all things that attract them to you as a borrower, and they can lend you even against the chibanja because they are comfortable with the, your records, they're comfortable with your cash flows, they're comfortable with your credit history. Maybe you're a repeat borrower, you borrowed well and paid well the loan. They can see your cash flows are doing, what he has been explaining. So all those are now things that make you a bankable borrower. So they can lend you against a land agreement, they can lend you against a chattel. I had him explain to you what chattel mortgage is. Yeah. So largely the banks, but you see things like collateral are last resort. The most important thing for the bank is not really the collateral, it's the cash, the potential to pay this loan. Yeah. So collateral, of course, because they are saying, if as the last resort, if
In case you fail,
what can I use to be able to? But even though there are processes, maybe they will send you a warning. They say, please, can you pay the loan? You are late. And if you have an issue, always, the challenge people have is that they don't want to go to the banks. When you're defaulting the first month, you see you won't be able to pay, you start
turning your phones off.
There to say, you know what, I have a problem. I'm not able to service my loan this month. Do you think that you can give me an allowance for maybe an additional 1 to 2 months? And they do that. This scheme allows that flexibility. They can give you additional grace period. Can say, okay, fine, we'll give you a month or 2 months, 3 months for you to regularize your cash flows. But the point is keep in touch with them. Let them know. If you're having challenges, let them know. If you need to extend the loan period, let them know. If so that they don't think that you are now starting to dodge them. Because that's where now they start losing trust. It becomes very now, say this one. Because remember that you said this money is not theirs.
You can even tell them and they restructure.
Yeah.
So now if the loan was for 3 years, let's make it for 4 years.
A relationship with them. These banks actually are not as tough as people think they are. And if you spoke to a customer who has been with them and what, they'll tell you, may have a very good relationship with the bank because it is about building trust. Most people, it's tough because the moment they give you the money also, you don't want anything to do with them. They call you, you start, being they now become an inconvenience. But you went there and you wanted the money. You see?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, in case of any challenges, please.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you too.